everyone, welcome back to my channel Becoming Proactive with Soumya Agarwal. So, this is the video number 3 for your chapter number 1 of strategic management, and we were discussing about the strategic management in government and not for profit organizations. So, before discussing with the topics that were left, that means we have already discussed about the strategic management relevance in education, and today we have to discuss about the relevance of strategic management in medical organizations and government organizations, right? So before discussing with that, let us just first read this definition again. The definition of a strategic management, because we are discussing the relevance of a strategic management. So first we should just go through the meaning of strategic management again. It is a process where where the management develops the strategic vision. I already told you that management just visualizes that what future we want to see. Okay, then setting objectives, crafting a strategy, implementing a strategy, evaluating a strategy, and the most important thing in a strategic management, we initiate corrective adjustments where deemed appropriate. Like suppose if the management feels that their strategy is not going in a proper direction or in a direction where they can achieve their organizational goals, then what will the management do? The management will do the corrections in the strategy. Okay, so this was the definition of strategic management. Now various organizations have different objectives. Like organizations are basically classified into two categories, where commercial organizations have the objective for profit organization for profit making, whereas the non-commercial organizations have an objective other than profit making. That means they do not work with the intention to earn profit, but they have various other objectives. Okay, so we have just studied that it helps the organization to set objective and then finally achieve them, right? So that is why not for profit organizations also we need strategic management to achieve our goals. So we have already discussed the educational institutes. Now what do you think that why do we need a strategic management in medical organizations? Before discussing about what is written in your book, let us just have a general discussion. In today's era, and if you compare today's era with the past era, do you find any you can say difference? Yes, there is a drastic change. In past times, what happened that if a patient needed the you can say the doctor at an emergency, then it was very difficult to contact the doctor, or the doctor could contact the you can say the patient only through a voice call. Okay, that too was very difficult. But in today's world, all the appointments are done online, plus there are various apps where you can have online consultancy with doctor through a video call. Okay, similarly there is a you can say PharmEasy. That app also has enabled the customers to receive the medicines at their doorstep only. Okay, you can just order your medicines and you can receive them at your doorstep, at your home. Similarly, you can have your sample that means the door-to-door collection of samples is also done in these days. Like if you want to give blood, or if you want to do any testing of your blood or anything, then also there is a facility where the uh, people come from pathology and they just collect the sample from your home and they just go and test it. Also the reports are sent to you through mail or through WhatsApp. Okay, so all these facilities are due to the strategic management, the involvement of a strategic management in the medical organization. If the medical organization was not in tune with the technology, then will all this be possible? Would all this be possible? No. Okay, so therefore modern hospitals, or you can say the hospitals, create strategies. Now just read let's just read from the book. Modern hospitals are creating new strategies today as advances in the diagnosis and treatment of chronic diseases are undercutting that earlier mission. Hospitals are beginning to bring services to the patient as much as bringing the patient to the hospital. They are just saying, they just want to say that in today's era, if you see, then lots of facilities are provided to the customers at their home only. So they are saying that hospitals are making various strategies In that way, that customer can receive more and more facilities without coming to the hospital, sitting at their home itself. Okay, then pathological laboratories have started collecting door-to-door samples. Chronic care will require the treatment facilities, electronic monitoring at home, user-friendly ambulatory services, decentralized service networks, and laboratory testing. So they are saying that chronic care requires so much. Okay, so this is also possible only through strategic management. Like you can have online monitoring at home, like the BP, the pulse rate, and everything you can monitor sitting at home. Similarly, the patients who are discharged from the hospital from a very chronic disease, recovering after a very chronic disease, they can also take good care of them sitting at home only, means after getting discharged from the hospital, with the use of all this. Okay, so a question will come in your exam for 5 marks. Okay, no question comes for 10 marks in strategic management. All the questions are basically for 5 marks as per the paper pattern, that is from so many attempts. Also, the questions can come in MCQs. Okay, so either the question will be for 1 mark, for 2 mark, or for 5 mark. Okay, not more than that. But if a question comes, like you have to explain the relevance of strategic management in educational institutes also, and medical institutes also, medical organizations also, then you do not have to write the general points. You have to write the points which I am making you mark. Just try to recall them, just try to learn them, and try to write them. Okay, not exact these points, but at least similar to these points. Okay, you should not just write the general points. Okay, I've already made you marked in educational institute, and if the question comes for a medical organization, then one thing you can quote can be this point. This is easy to remember as well. Pathological laboratories. Okay, I'll also tell you the proper way that how you should write your answer. Then a successful hospital strategy for the future will require renewed and deepened collaboration with physicians who are central to the hospital's well-being, and a reallocation of resources from acute to chronic care in home and community settings. So they are saying that various hospitals have collaborated with physicians as well. Okay, so this can be also a point which you can quote. Then this is one of the most important point which you must quote. Backward integration strategies that some hospitals are pursuing, including acquiring ambulance services, waste disposal services, diagnostic services. So what is backward integration and what is forward integration? We will discuss it in chapter number 4. But for now, you can just learn this point. Backward integration, that means the hospitals are acquiring the ambulance services, the waste disposal services, and the diagnostic services. Okay. So in this way, what are hospitals doing? They are doing a kind of expansion. Okay. Then the whole strategic landscape of healthcare is changing because of the internet. Now, internet is also a biggest influence on the medical industry, because like I already gave you examples. Like one example you can quote is Dhani app. DHANI. In this app, what you can do, you can just book your appointment online and you can contact to the doctor through a video call. Okay, so this you can quote. Then can conduct sensitive business on such as sharing results of medical test and prescribing medicine. So the doctor, what can the doctor do with the test? जो भी आप लोगों ने test कराए हैं, with the reports of the test, what he can do, he can just prescribe you some medicines. Like what can the doctor do? Suppose you are contacting with the doctor through a video call, you can just tell the doctor that these all symptoms I am facing and this is my condition. So what can the doctor do? The doctor can suggest you to do some test, and after the reports of those tests come, the doctor can give you an online prescription. So these all are points which you can quote. So these 4 points are the must which you should quote if the answer comes to write the relevance of strategic management in medical organizations. I hope that everyone could understand, but still I'll just summarize everything in Hindi, because हो सकता है कि जो बच्चों को हिंदी समझ में आता है उनको उतने अच्छे से क्लियर ना हुआ हो. तो आई एम जस्ट सेइंग दैट, मैं सिर्फ ये कह रही हूँ कि देखो, मेडिकल ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस में भी स्ट्रैटेजिक मैनेजमेंट तो ज़रूरी है, क्योंकि हमको अपने ऑब्जेक्टिव्स को अचीव करने के लिए बेसिकली स्ट्रैटेजिक मैनेजमेंट को अपने ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में इम्प्लीमेंट करना होता है. अब ये ज़रूरी नहीं है कि हमको प्रॉफिट कमाना ही हो, ठीक है. इट्स नॉट कंपलसरी कि स्ट्रैटेजिक मैनेजमेंट करके आप सिर्फ प्रॉफिट ही कमाओगे. अगर आपका ऑब्जेक्टिव कुछ और है तो आप वो कमा सकते हो, मीन्स वो अचीव कर सकते हो. तो उसमें मैंने आपको 4 पॉइंट्स जो मार्क कराए आप कर सकते हो, जैसे कि पैथोलॉजीज। ठीक है, पैथोलॉजीज में क्या होता है कि डोर टू डोर सैंपल्स वो आके कलेक्ट कर लेते हैं। इसी तरह से फिजिशियंस के साथ में कोलैबोरेशन हो जाता है। इसी तरह से हॉस्पिटल्स एम्बुलेंसेस को एक्वायर कर लेते हैं। और इंटरनेट, जैसे कि ऑनलाइन प्रिस्क्रिप्शन आप ले सकते हो, डॉक्टर से वीडियो कॉल पे बात कर सकते हो। So this was all the relevance of strategic management in your medical organization. I hope now it is clear to each and everyone. Now, government organization or governmental agencies and departments. So what is the relevance of strategic management here? So central, state, municipal agencies, PSUs, departments are responsible for formulating, implementing and evaluating strategies that use. Now this is one of the most important line which you should quote if the question comes for writing the role of strategic management in government organization. So why do the government organization need a strategic management? To use the taxpayers money in the most cost effective way to provide service and programs. Now this is the responsibility of government only, to use the taxpayers money in the most efficient way, okay, in the most effective way, so that it can welfare our country in the most fruitful way. So this is only what they are saying. The strategic management concepts are increasingly being used to enable some organizations to be more effective and efficient. But strategists in government organizations operate with less strategic autonomy than the counterparts in private firms. So by these lines, I'm just telling you the meaning of these lines. What is the meaning of these lines? You can just read them by yourself, okay? In these lines, they are saying that there are fewer strategic options with the government, because government has to address a lot of people and media also, okay. So even one plan of the government, like you can see now in news channels also, that government is planning this, government is planning that, government ne ki ye yojana wo yojana. So why is all this? This is because everyone, at every activity of government, there is some or the other involvement of media or public, okay. In that way, there is a lot of chance that any strategy by government can be leaked, okay. So that is why the governmental you can say the head officials of the government, they have to be very very conscious while framing any strategy, and whatever strategy they are framing, they have to be very very sure about it. So they just mean to say this, that because there is a lot of media, and strategic issues get discussed and debated in media, and the issue can also become that means political barriers can also interfere in that. So that is why they are just saying that because this is so, the government has to be very very wise in strategic management. मतलब गवर्नमेंट जो भी स्ट्रैटेजी बना रही है ना, उसको बहुत वाइजली करना होता है, बिकॉज इसके पास बहुत कम ऑप्शन होते हैं. लाइक प्राइवेट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में क्या है कि आप लोग मतलब किसी को नहीं भी बताओगे तो चलेगा, बट गवर्नमेंट में क्या होता है कि मीडिया का इन्वॉल्वमेंट होता है, प्लस पब्लिक की एक्सपेक्टेशंस होती हैं, तो बहुत ज़्यादा इंटरफेरेंस होता है. इस वजह से गवर्नमेंट के पास बहुत ही कम ऑप्शंस होते हैं स्ट्रैटेजी के, एंड वो जो भी कुछ कर रहे हैं उनको बहुत वाइजली और सिलेक्ट करके करना होता है, ठीक है. But in government agencies and departments are finding that their employees get excited about the opportunity to participate in strategic management process, and thereby have an effective effect on organization's mission, objective, strategy and policies. In addition, government agencies are using a strategic management approach to develop and sustain substantiate formal request for additional funding. So they are just saying that government organizations use this strategic management to develop and substantiate formal requests for additional funding. Like as you all know that all these organizations, government organizations, are outsourced by the public money only, okay. These work only through public money. So if for a project, for any project, अगर उनको ज़्यादा पैसे चाहिए, so what do? They use the strategic management only, similarly, to decide that which project should be framed at which point of time, like the repair of roads, ठीक है, acquiring of anything. So all these government you can say decisions are based on the funds which they have, and if they need any additional fund, then also they need a proper you can say plan, so that they can ask for additional fund from the public, ठीक है. इनका सीधा सीधा मतलब ये है कि देखो स्ट्रैटेजी जो भी देखो गवर्नमेंट के पास में पैसा होता है वो पब्लिक का ही होता है. तो अगर उनको कुछ एडिशनल फंडिंग चाहिए किसी प्रोजेक्ट के लिए, उसको कमेंस करने के लिए, तो उसके लिए उनको स्ट्रैटेजिक मैनेजमेंट ही चाहिए. So if the question comes for government organization now, that what is the relevance of strategic management in government organization, number first point you can quote this: taxpayers' money in the most efficient and effective way. And next point you can quote this, and third you can say this: that government tries that their employees are excited to participate in strategic management process. That means that simply means that government just makes the use of strategic management, or you can say involves its employees to use strategic management so that they can achieve their objectives. Okay, so this topic is over, and now we are moving towards the last topic, that is your strategic levels. So on a broad level, there are basically 3 levels of management: corporate level, business level, functional level. Business level is also known as divisional level. Okay. So general managers are found at first 2 levels, but their strategic roles differ depending on the sphere of responsibility. So general managers are at corporate level also, at business level also. But at corporate level, their you can say responsibilities are different, and on business level, their responsibilities are different. Okay. So on corporate level, basically there are these people like your CEO, your BOD, your other senior executives. At business level, there are divisional managers and staff, and functional level, there are functional managers. Okay, so this is how your management is subdivided. So now before reading this para, I'm just telling you this, and this strategic business unit is also discussed in detail in chapter number 6. So we will discuss it there. Now let's just first read this. Mr. Lakshman is the general manager at one of the biggest FMCG company which has very famous brands under its umbrella. So they are saying that Mr. Lakshman, who is he? Is the general manager at one of the biggest FMCG companies which has which is very famous brands under its umbrella. Like under FMCG, there are lots of brands. Okay, famous brands. Now, Mr. Lakshman is the general manager of the toothpaste brand. Under FMCG, you can see that a lot of products are certified as FMCG. So there are a lot of brands and lot of products are there at the brand. So this Mr. Lakshman is the general manager at toothpaste brand, which is the most sold product of the company. He is responsible for success and profitability of this toothpaste brand, and has a team of 150 people working under him in various departments like marketing, engineering, designing, finance. He's managing the entire toothpaste business. Now this toothpaste business is a strategic business unit. So they are saying that a unit, see, FMCG was a company and it had various units. Like it had, you can say, first is your toothpaste, then other can be your, you can say, detergent, or there can be various products. Okay, not detergent, actually FMCG is for eatables basically. So you can say namkeen, then your biscuit, then your chocolates. Okay, so there can be various other brands also. But Mr. Lakshman, he is the general manager of only toothpaste brand, and he is considered about namkeen brand or biscuit brand or chocolates brand? No, he is not at all considered about any other department. He just has 150 people who he has to manage. Okay, and he just looks at the profitability of his particular unit, business unit, that is a toothpaste brand. So this is only what SBUs are. An organization is divided into number of segments that work together to bring into a particular product or service to the market. Like all these business brands, they have collectively made this tag FMCG. Okay, so this is only they are saying. Now, if a company provides several or different kinds of products or services, it often duplicates these functions and creates a series of self-contained divisions to manage each different product or service. So they are saying that if there are lots and lots of products and lots of service under a company, so what does the company do? Company अपने आप को divide कर लेती. Company simply divides itself into various business units, into various segments. Okay. So the general managers of these divisions then become responsible for their particular product. The overriding concern of the divisional managers is healthy growth of their divisions. They are responsible for deciding how to create competitive advantage and achieve profitability and have capital at their disposal. So such divisions are called SBOs. Like in your class also, you must have observed when you were in school that for a group activity, or you can say for a class activity, your teacher used to divide you into various groups, right? Suppose there were a people of 100 in your class, so the teacher used to make 4 groups of 25 students, and the teacher also used to make one leader from each and every group, and that particular leader was concerned about that particular group only. Okay, for which he was the leader, he used to manage that group only. So in this way the whole class was managed. So similarly a company has to do. A company just divide itself into various divisions, and each particular division is known as your SBU. ठीक है? So this was pretty simple. Now the topic comes, the corporate level of management consists of CEO. Now this we have already studied that corporate level. Now this is the top level. Okay, so these are the people who are at your top level. So these individuals participate in strategic decision making. These are the people who are at the top. Okay, these are the people who are at the top, and what do? They basically, now this can be your MCQ. Okay, so read this topic very carefully. These individuals participate in strategic decision making, and the role of corporate, you can also underline whatever I am underlining. The role of corporate level managers is to oversee the development of strategies for the whole organization. This role includes defining the mission, goals of organization, determining what business it should be in, allocate resources, formulate and implement a strategy that span individual business, and provide leadership for the organization as a whole. This is one of the most important line for MCQ. Okay. So this is corporate level. I don't find any need to explain, but still I'm explaining that what does the corporate level. They are basically the people who are at the top level. So they just see that whether the business is progressing as they had framed it or not, because they are only responsible for strategic decision making. Though they involved all the people, means the managers from all the levels, like from business level also and from functional level also, they involve the people in while they are doing the strategic decision making, but the actually decision or the decision making power is in their hands only. Okay, so that is why they do the strategic decision making, then they oversee the development, then they formulate strategy, implement strategy, and also they provide leadership. Okay, so Godrej is active in a wide range of business, including soaps, insecticides, edible oil, furniture. Then the group chairman of Adi Godrej. Like in Godrej, they have given example. The group chairman is your Adi Godrej. So he is basically the person who is from the corporate level. So he is responsible for setting overall strategic objective, allocating resources, okay, deciding whether the firm should divest or whether the firm should continue, and whether determining that whether it should acquire any new one or not. Okay, so they are saying that in other words, it is up to Adi Godrej and other senior executives to develop strategies that span individual business and manage the corporate portfolio. So this was about your corporate level. Now let's read about business level. However, it is not their specific responsibility to develop strategies for competing in individual business areas. Like suppose the Adi Godrej. So Adi Godrej is from the head office. Okay, he is the chairman. Now Godrej has various products, like it has Almira. Now there are eggs also. Okay, then there are polish also, shoe polishes, and lots of material are there from Godrej. So these are basically your individual businesses. Okay, one business is not at all interlinked with the other business. So they are saying that though Adi Godrej is responsible for the decision making of Godrej company, but he is not responsible for each and every individual business. Okay, or business area. For each individual business area, there is one general manager, and that particular manager is known as business level manager. So, in simple words, corporate level managers provide an organizational level view of the strategy and what they want to achieve. But it is on the business level managers to ensure that or their particular business that the one they are responsible for. So now, suppose Adi Godrej has framed one strategy, but these business areas do not follow that strategy in the manner as Adi Godrej and other executives have planned. So whether the business will work as they had desired? No, not at all. So they are saying that though corporate level is responsible, but the actual responsible for a successful strategy implementation are your business level managers. Okay. Now, beside overseeing resource allocation and managing the divestment and acquisition process, corporate level managers provide a link between people who oversee the strategic development and those who own it. That means, now this is also very important for MCQ, that corporate level managers provide a link between your people who oversee the strategic development, that means your corporate level managers, and those who own it, that means the shareholders. Okay, तो इन दोनों के बीच का जो लिंक होता है that are your corporate level managers. Now, corporate level managers and particularly the CEO can be viewed as the guardian of shareholder welfare. Okay, so it is their responsibility to ensure that the corporate and business strategy of the company are consistent. It is their responsibility. Whose responsibility? Corporate level managers' responsibility, that their company strategies are consistent with maximizing shareholders' wealth. Now, the question can come that who is responsible for maximizing shareholders' wealth? So it is the corporate level managers. And this link between also, I guess I told you something wrong. Corporate level managers provide a link between the people who oversee the strategic development. That means the people, basically they are corporate level managers only, but they are saying that it acts as a link between the people who are the owners and the people who manage, okay, who oversee the development. So this is only they are saying. Now, if they are not, then ultimately the CEO is likely to be held accountable by the shareholders. So they are saying that it is the responsibility of corporate level managers to maximize shareholders' wealth, and if they are not, then the CEO. Okay. Now, as we know, SBU is a self-contained division. Now only we discuss what is a strategic business unit that provides a product or service. The principal general manager at the business level or the business level manager is the head of division. The strategic role of these managers is to translate the general statements of direction and intent that come from corporate level into business strategies, concrete strategies for individual business. Now you already know that at the top level, who is the one? At the top level, it is the corporate level. And then after corporate level, it is the business level. Right. So all the strategies that are framed by the corporate level are, passed to the business level. Means the corporate level just passes that all these strategies has to be implemented. So what does the business level managers do? They translate these strategies which are framed by the corporate level managers into individual business strategies, because at this level the organization is divided into various divisions which are known as strategic business unit. Okay, so they are saying that all the strategies that are framed from the corporate level are translated into individual businesses strategies. So thus, whereas corporate level managers are concerned with the strategies that span individual businesses, business level managers are concerned with the strategies that are specified to a particular business. This is again important for MCQ. They can confuse you. So if there is a word span individual business, then you should write corporate, and if it is written they are specific to a particular business, then you should write business level manager. Then the functional levels managers are again the subcategory of business level only. So these are responsible for specific business function. Like suppose in this example, in FMCG example, there was the example of toothpaste brand. Okay, like FMCG was the company, and then there was individual business area, like one was toothpaste, and in toothpaste also there can be various departments, functional departments like production, marketing, HR. Okay, so they are saying that functional level managers are responsible are specific business functions or operations like human resources, purchasing, product development that constitute a company or one of its division. Thus, a functional level manager's sphere of responsibility is generally confined to one organizational activity, whereas general managers oversee the operation of the whole company. Although they are not responsible for overall performance, functional managers nevertheless have a major strategic role to develop functional strategies in their area that help fulfill the strategic objectives set by business and corporate level managers. Now, they are saying just this, that functional managers though do not have the decision making power, but if you will not involve functional level managers in your decision making, अगर आप functional level manager को involve ही नहीं करोगे अपने decision making में, तो आपको क्या पता लगेगा कि क्या हो रहा है उनके level पे. Okay, so they are just saying that they just help the business and corporate level managers to frame proper strategies by letting them know that what is the position of their particular area. Okay, so functional managers provide most of the information that makes it possible for business and corporate level general managers to formulate realistic and attainable strategies. Now, this can also be a question that whether functional managers should be involved while strategic decision making or not. So, you should write all this, what is written here. Okay. Now, indeed, because they are closer to the customer than the typical general manager, functional manager themselves may generate important areas that subsequently may become major strategies. Now, what all customer needs, what all problems is customer facing, all this is well known by functional strategies only. Okay, because the person who is going in contact with the customer has a more good idea about the customer. So that is what they are saying. An equal great responsibility for managers at operational level is strategy implementation, the execution of corporate and business level plan. Now, this is also one of the most important function of functional level managers, that implementation is done at corporate level and business level. Though some part of implementation is at business level also, but the actual implementation is at functional level. Okay, so this is also one of the most great responsibility by functional managers. So now this is a chart which can help you to summarize decisions for the company as a whole affecting each business, then decision based on corporate managers decision for their respective decisions businesses, and then decisions for the function key that lead like finance, marketing, HR. मतलब ये बोल रहे हैं कि corporate managers क्या करते हैं, पूरे business का decision लेते हैं, बिजनेस मैनेजर्स क्या करते हैं, उनके रिस्पेक्टिव बिजनेस एरियाज का डिसीजन लेते हैं, एंड फंक्शनल मैनेजर्स क्या करते हैं, अपने फंक्शनल एरियाज का, जैसे प्रोडक्शन वाले फंक्शनल मैनेजर प्रोडक्शन के लिए, मार्केटिंग वाले मार्केटिंग के लिए, इस टाइप से. Now this is one question, that is how is strategic management relevant for Health Well Now? Health Well Now is a charitable organization promoting healthy lifestyle amongst the office goers. Okay, so this is a charitable organization, and they are just asking you the relevance of strategic management in a charitable organization. So this is how you have to start your answer. That organization can be classified as commercial and non-commercial, and then your Health Well Now falls in a non-commercial. Then you can just write all this, that why is strategic management needed in your not-for-profit making organization, and then how is strategic management. That means you have to quote the lines from the above para, that why you are saying that the strategic management is relevant for Health Well Now. So this is how you have to connect your answer with the question. Okay, so I hope that this chapter is clear to you all. And if I'll get a good feedback, then I'll also write 1 or 2 questions and tell you that how to write the question. Okay, but till I'm proceeding, you just watch these videos and give your feedback through the comment section or to the Telegram channel. I'm just dropping the links in the description box. Also, if you feel that my videos are helpful, I'm making these videos especially for the South Indian students, so do share them and do press the like button, and also consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you to each and everyone. Bye.